Yo, Jesse, you should talk about the celestial theodolite, how it actually proves concave.
Don't make him speak, bro.
Yeah, well, if you cherry pick all the measurements that match concave, then you get concave with the celestial theodolite is everybody's best friend because it gives such wildly varying results. You can cherry pick well whatever you like. If you're a glober or even a tiny glober or a flat earther or a fat earther or a
Oh,
concave,
wow.
you can.
That's it.
It's
I'm a
anything to
tiny
everybody.
glober.
What's
Yo,
that?
that's awesome. Hold on, I like this new model you just presented.
Yeah, but Jesse Pat Light,
Not that tiny globe. You're wrong. Earth
that's
is
what
a
Globers
tiny
have been
globe.
doing with optics. That's what Globers do with optics all the time. So they're just doing the same thing back to you.
No, it's
You
not.
guys cherry pick optical measurements too.
No,
I'm a
if
tiny globe earther.
I agree with you.
The
But you guys do the same
the
thing.
conspiracy is they claim Earth is a certain size, but it actually is much smaller than that. Me and Quad are tiny globers.
Wait, the curvature rate's even higher than they say?
Yeah, it's like that planet in Dragon Ball Z. What do they call that place? So why does Mike Heffron tell himself that he's on the mountain peak? Why does he?
because
Yeah.
well, because when he did it, when he initially was, his initial idea was a good one to use stellarium set to the observer location as in place of a theodolite. It was originally a good idea, but that gave globe results, and he didn't like that. So he found out that by turning off refraction and moving it forward to add in 1 degree per 60 nautical miles, that therefore he could get it to match the flat Earth prediction more or less for certain mountains. So it was just an obfuscated way of fudging the results to be what he wanted.
Yeah, that's confusing. Yeah, I don't understand how they say like I'm gonna move the observer to the peak, and the elevation angle to the star is gonna remain the same that it was at the house. I just don't understand why he would think that.
I'm pretty sure that either he was hired by Globers to make Flat Earth look bad, or he was hired by Flat Earthers to try to prop Flat Earth up. I'm not sure which. But he knows better. Definitely he knows better, but he's just not letting it on.
Yo, Jesse, did you hear them kick Ruhif off and the other guy after for debating them?
What's that?
Do you see the last time they kicked the Ruhif out of the room while he was in the middle of fucking debating them?
Oh, the CT team, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, and they forbade me from interacting in VC ahead of time for several weeks there. Now he says I can come back, but
Yeah, I called them out because they want their little echo chamber, and it's pathetic. It's like, um,
Yeah, what's really weird is I asked Alan, I said, is there refraction? Is it lifting the apparent position of the star? And he said yes. And I said, okay, so you have a flat Earth trig prediction to the height of the mountain. It's 2 degrees 31 minutes in the flat Earth trig prediction. In real life, it measures 219, so it's being refracted up from a lower position than 219, right? And he was like, yep, curved visual space. So basically, he's just saying that it is exactly what the globe predicts. It's just the reason why it's dropping is curved visual space and it's being refracted up. So stellarium is correct.
what's funny is I actually agree with Jesse, which is kind of funny that he has like that conspiratorial mind when it comes to flat Earth. Like, that Professor Mike is hired by a Glober because they are totally strawmanning us. They're doing the opposite of what flat Earth has always claimed, which is the sky and optics are no way of measuring the Earth, and they're only using optics and the sky, and they're even using a fucking the sky, you know, based on what the globe claims refraction does, and they're not taking any refraction readings for temperature and not even a fucking actual theodolite from his house or the mountain. He's not doing anything. He measured his screen apparently with a fucking ruler to count pixels or some shit. It's like the only actual measurement he did.
Yeah, Alan's full of shit.
Well, I think I agree. I think there's something nefarious. I think it's gonna lead somewhere bad for flat Earth. And I already called it out on EA. I said
If
that
it goes anywhere, it's going downhill. It's not going to lead to bad or good. It's just going to fall apart.
no, it could lead to a point where it makes flat earthers have like so TFE already kind of gave a crutch to flat earthers that believe it was real. And now they're gonna have to defend that we use all of Stellarium's data and we treat it as kind of accurate as like the entire like star map, even though we haven't tested this out. Most people don't live in the south. So there's a lot of assumptions and a lot of uh, reifying the globe map and model, basically.
So you think it's an op?
Yeah, well, so I think TFE is an op. So these guys are all defending TFE. They're pretty sus as well. Like, I mean, I don't think like they're like none of them like ever respond. No, none of them question anything weird about TFE. They've been auto defending it from the beginning, like without any slightest um suspicion or um I mean the way that they're like just kind of Alan and Shane are so almost like trained. Like the whole way that like Alan like Shane's channel came about, like apparently was like super sus. I wasn't there for that, but he just had like all this content and it was all ready. And
One of the one of the dumbest things about the celestial theodolite is when they draw it and they draw that straight line chord from his house to the star, and they pretend that the elevation angle will remain the same at the peak of the mountain that it is from the house. With that presumption in mind, like with their little diagram, like if I move the observer to the base of the mountain, that would increase the vertical angle to the star, which is just complete nonsense.
I don't know where they're getting. So they're making a lot of assumptions, like other than like the star map and the map kind of. They're also making assumptions that refraction isn't happening between the star and the mountain,
Both sides are,
which
right? Globe and Allen and crew or whatever they go by. They both have to make up some assumptions, right? It's not like
No,
anybody's going
sir.
there and taking the nobody's actually physically going there and measuring the atmosphere. You know, the
Yeah,
pressure,
but that's why you're
density.
not supposed to. That's why you're not supposed to use the sky for anything other than navigation.
Well, the fact is, for whatever reason, if you find an observer location in a target where you can use traditional surveying methods and measure the elevation angle to that target with a normal surveyor's theodolite, and you can do it anytime, any day, and you get consistent results, you can use that method and
Oh,
subtract
so you don't
standard
have to
refraction
measure.
rate. Hold on just a second. You can subtract standard refraction, add in Earth curve drop, and you can accurately measure the actual height of that mountain with the method. For some reason, that method does work. It is reliable in under those conditions.
Yeah, so you're making a case for not measuring refraction and just going off of like a presupposed formula, is what you're saying,
Uh,
right?
I don't remember saying that. I'm
Yeah,
saying
that's
I
exactly what you said. You just used a bunch of different words to skirt around that. You said for some reason you could take a theodolite and you could use it and not account for refraction, and it lines up with reality. Okay. Well, what does that
didn't I
mean? You
didn't
never
I?
measured.
But wait a second.
You
I
never
said
measured the atmosphere, right?
I said subtract standard refraction. That's not accounting. That's accounting for it.
Yeah, that's presupposing what you want or need the refraction to be, right?
Well, not
That's
really.
not, yeah, because it's not definite. It's not 100% guaranteed. That's what your refraction's going to be. That's not even how refraction works. Through all the experimentation, it's demonstrable that,
Yo,
like,
up, I
yeah,
just
no,
became a
we
Glover.
can't rely on just some roundabout average because it doesn't work. It doesn't match up with reality.
Well, it matches up. If you
To the
if
globe.
I said if you get in a situation where the observer and the target, if you find an observer location and a target location where you get consistent results day in day out, any time of day, any day, then standard refraction does give you a very good result within a very reasonable margin of uncertainty.
Okay, so when it matches the presupposed equation, then you're good. But when it doesn't, there's a problem.
Is that a question or a statement?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out your logic. You tell me, long as it matches the average is good.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, you just did. You said if it matches up the standard refractive index, then we're good.
What did I say? I didn't say anything about something matching up, did I? What did I say?
Yeah, you're using the refractive model, right?
What refractive model?
The one you presuppose. Or are you just ignoring refraction when you do your observations? It's one or the other.
I'm not even sure what you're asking, or if you're making a statement.
Are you playing dumb right now? Like, I don't get it.
Of course not. But as a human, as an adult, you need to be able to articulate your point. I
When
can't
are
make
you
your point for you.
accounting
And
for
the fact that you
refraction,
cut me off
Jesse?
mid-sentence is exactly an indicator that you cannot articulate your own point because you don't even understand your own point.
My point is, you are presupposing refraction, and then you come up with an argument to try and justify it, but you're not actually measuring anything. And when you do measure something, you find out there's no standard refractive model. That's my point. And that's not even me saying it. That's like your sources, your mainstream that's what all their evidence and their experiments lead to. That final outcome that you have
So,
never justified in assuming what refraction is doing just by some standard model because we've tested this model and it's not consistent.
okay, are you saying that standard refraction, that there's no legitimate reason to assume standard refraction is taking place under standard conditions?
Oh, I'm not saying that. That's not what I said.
Good. So we agree then that under standard
know why you would
circumstances,
say that.
the standard refraction is legitimately applied to
And
optical
there's no
vertical
such
elevation
thing,
angle
Jesse.
measurements.
There's no such thing as standard refraction. You just claim there is. Because in order to have standard refraction, you need refraction to be standard.
You
But
don't
then
even know
when
what
you
standard
run
refraction is.
experiments, okay, yeah, that's a fucking strong argument. Then when we run
What-
experiments, we find out that, holy shit, we can't count on this equation. We can't trust this standard refractive index. This model that we have, it's not reliable. That's what the experimentation tells us.
Well, look, let's have a debate sometime when we have a moderator and he won't be interrupting every sentence I say. Otherwise, I got work to do here.
Oh, I'm a moderator, sir. You can have a debate.
Well,
And I'm never mind.
I don't just make your point, dude. I'm just saying, according to mainstream, there's no standard refractive model. There's no standard. Like you just claim it. It doesn't exist because every time the mainstream has taken this, out in the field and experimented with standard refractive index, they realize, holy shit, it's wrong. It's not consistent.
what's your sources for that? Because I disagree. I have done numerous measurements in standard conditions or near standard conditions and
Right.
have found that standard refraction is extremely reliable.
Okay, Jesse, when have you ever measured the atmosphere along the whole path to your observation?
I've never done it, but what's the point?
Exactly. So you've never
That's-
actually done it. You've just claimed it again, but you've never actually done it. You just said you did.
Do you
You've never
deny?
accounted for it.
Do you deny that air pressure decreases at a very predictable rate with elevation?
What does that have to do with the whole fact that you don't have a reliable standard model for refraction? You
I've
want to
asked
go
you a
into the
question.
weeds of what refraction is?
I've
Is that
asked
what
you
you
a
want to do?
question.
You want to drag this conversation into the mud and bicker about some dumb shit that's irrelevant to the main point that you do not have a refractive index that is reliable. And every time you claim that you're adhering to a refractive index, all you're adhering to is a presupposed model that is not, you have no justification to support using that and treating it as a reliable source of obtaining what you're actually looking at. Because every time the military and the government run these experiments,
Time.
they find out it
I'm turning
doesn't
into
match
a
up.
Glover. This is so dumb.
It doesn't match up with the predicted model.
Okay, so I think a good way to settle this might be a bet. How much do you want to bet me that I can go up on a mountain peak, measure the elevation angle to another mountain peak, 70, 80 miles away, whatever, apply standard refraction, and get very close to the true height of the target mountain? If you think standard refraction cannot be applied in this way, how much do you want to bet on it?
I'm saying you are not justified unless you're okay with this. Ready? I'll throw some numbers out. Say you did an experiment, right? And you found out 10% of the time you were off by 2 to 4 times the allowed level of tolerance. Would you accept that as like certain? Would you consider those results final and acceptable?
That's a completely ambiguous
No, it's
hypothetical.
right. So you can't answer it because you're afraid of being honest, right? I get that.
Yeah. Oh,
But
so
it's
call me a liar,
directly
you liar?
related. It's directly related.
Okay, so let's look at let's say we have an example here.
So if you
Let's
have
say,
a
hold on. I'm letting
10%,
you talk a lot. Are you gonna
but you
make them
ignore
mute
what I
you or
say.
what?
You
Here?
don't address what I say. What does it
You
matter
don't
how
address
long
what I
talk
say
if you
either.
ignore? Well, you're trying to go on about bets. You're trying to drag the conversation off topic. Like, why do I want to engage in that?
Well, the
I
fact
just point out what you're doing and then keep it back on track.
The fact is, you're lying. You actually don't believe what you're saying. If you believed what you're saying, you'd be willing to make a bet on it. Okay, so you're just
So
lying to me.
I
I don't have
do
time for
believe
this.
what I'm saying, right? I believe what I'm saying because I know for certain, right? There's an experiment that exists that demonstrates that 10% of the time the prediction was off 2 to 4 times the allowed level of tolerance.
Is this a measurement you did?
Doesn't matter who did it. What would you
Okay.
do with that data if I gave it to you?
I
Say my
have no
cousin
idea what the
Willie
context
Willie
is.
Nelson, right?
Did-
My
did-
cousin Willie Nelson did this
Okay.
experiment with
I'll give
traction,
you the
right?
context, Jesse. So
So
they
we took
didn't account for wind. They didn't know if there was a cold front blowing in, so
oh
it
this
didn't
dude,
match
you
their
don't even
prediction.
know the experiment, you dumbass.
Nato
Please just
Sapphire.
sit down.
Sapphire. They said that the variable
Yeah,
didn't account for
yeah,
was
go
wind.
read the paper, dude. My goodness. You always do
Well,
this,
yeah,
Jesse.
but
You
you see, the
you
problem
come in and you bail out Globers every
is
chance you get.
the problem is because
You
what you're
just
saying is
drag the
absolute. It
conversation
doesn't
into
matter who's
something.
making the
You can't
argument.
just
If you're
shut your
wrong,
mouth
yeah, if you're
when it
wrong,
has
I want
nothing
to
to do
correct
with
you.
you.
That's correct. Yeah, so
No,
you're wrong.
you just
So
gaslight the
your
room
experiment that
as
you're
if you read the
referencing,
paper,
these
you
guys did
understand the
not
paper.
know how to account for the wind. Okay, but you can go out during ambient conditions and
Well,
actually,
now
I know for a fact,
you're flat out lying.
Jesse does in fact measure the temperature gradient and the density and the pressure and the
How?
lapse rate over distance.
Yeah,
He's
he said
actually
he didn't.
taken boats
All
out.
right, you're gonna
He
waffle
takes
on. You can
boats.
fuck off.
Where did he go?
I moved him to hot mic. If he just thinks he's gonna come in, dominate the room on a monologue, yeah, it's not gonna work, dude.
What you're saying doesn't make sense. I was actually
No, you're
down
lying about reading the paper. That's what you're doing, and
kicking
you're
people in the middle of a
misrepresenting
conversation that you're
NATO
not willing to
Sapphire
contribute
to
to.
bail Jesse out, and you're just disrupting
All right, you have
everything.
nothing to
You are
say.
completely
Okay, stop
injecting
complaining.
yourself into a conversation you are not a part of. So
Because he
shut the
asked.
fuck
Because
up.
he asked for.
Sit the fuck
He
down,
asked
dude.
for context, and you weren't willing to give it to him. So I was. So since you
It's a
don't want to contribute
hypothetical
to the
guy.
conversation, I will.
Every time, Electric. Every time with you. You just create fucking chaos. You disrupt
No, you
conversation.
say things
You
that are
fuck up the
incorrect.
room, and you drag it into some nonsense while you lie about the topic being discussed.
Nobody believes you. You sound like a liar. Anyway, so these
You don't
guys
have
didn't
to
account
believe
for
me.
wind.
You don't.
Apparently,
That's the thing. You don't
hey,
have to
stop trying
believe
to
me.
yell
You
over
can take
people.
this
You're not
paper
saying
and you
anything.
can read it for yourself. You
You're not
fucking brick.
saying anything, Rigger. Calm down, Rigger. Anyway, so these guys claim that they're.
I just want to. Damn it.
Yeah, if this is, I read the rules for this server. Here we've got Pure Rigger moderating his own argument, which is strictly against the rules. If this is what's going on, I'm leaving, and I'm encouraging
have to
all the
do-
Glovers to leave also.
Yeah, well, Rigger's acting like a baby.
He's coming in and steamrolling the conversation, derailing it, and
Well,
No,
injecting
you
himself
don't
in a
know how to bring the
conversation between me and you,
where it should go.
so he can lie and misrepresent what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter what you're saying. I'm representing Nato Sapphire. You don't want to give the details
No, you're
you're
not.
asking about.
You're 100% not.
I'll steel man Nato Sapphire since you're afraid to. You just want to say, well, you don't have an argument and other stupid things like that.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah, and
just
you
give the
gaslight the room
details.
into
I'll
believing that
give
you
the
actually
details
read the
that
paper.
Jesse
The
wants.
only thing you know about it is what I've told you about it.
That's stupid.
You've never even
Anyway,
opened up the fucking paper and read through it.
can you stop complaining? Because you're not making any real claims. You're just claiming that you can't know things,
What was
which
the
is not
distance?
really a claim.
What was the distance, Jesse?
No,
Of
they
the
changed their
observation.
distance to their target many times in the experiment.
Wrong.
Wow, so then it's not an
Wrong.
experiment.
Yeah, Electric,
Wrong.
I got a bad vibe from you, dude, because now Jesse's gone and you totally spammed the whole conversation they were having.
It's
dude.
what he does every fucking time. He
That's
comes
kind of
in, he
like
creates
you're
disruption.
kind of like being a shithead, dude.
Anyway, yeah, because
And then you're gonna just ignore it. You should be banned from the server, dude. That's my own opinion.
All right, dude. Yeah, Rigger's lying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah,
just a shit stirrer.
I asked you one question. How far was the observation? You can't answer it, so you guess that, oh, they moved it multiple times. No, they didn't, you fucking idiot. It's like
So
on the
therefore, it's
first
not an
paragraph.
experiment. You need 3 different observation points. It's not an experiment
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, according to you, right?
No, according to science.
No, not according to that paper. Not
Then
according to their
you don't know
method.
what science is.
Oh, yeah, go take it up with them. Write them a strongly worded letter and let them know how you feel, hot shot.
Yeah, there's better scientists doing better experiments in better conditions. So
Yeah,
why don't we
yeah,
just rely on those to know how
yeah, yeah.
refraction
Name one. Name one that
How about every other
involves
time somebody
refraction.
tried to measure the
Name one
reflective
that
index of the
involves
atmosphere?
refraction. All you can do is fucking listen to people argue about shit and then take
You're
parts of their
pretending that
argument and
people
draw your
don't
own
get weather
conclusions.
data. So you're
Because you don't
pretending
do
that
any
you can't
research for
get
yourself.
weather data. You're pretending that a surveyor can't access weather data. That is retarded. Why are you retarded?
I don't think weather data is a specific. Weather data is not specific enough to take refraction.
He's a fucking
That-
idiot.
Actually, yeah, weather
Dude's an
data
idiot.
can tell you the temperature.
They don't. They
variations,
wouldn't use it anyways.
the
Well, what do you mean?
distribution.
They're just gonna.
Jesus,
They're gonna claim
what
standard
happened here?
refraction, and they're not gonna use any type of inputs.
Electric
Yeah,
captain. This is his
you
tactic.
can measure heat distribution along the surface of water. It's very easy, and then
Yeah,
you
okay.
could get those temperature changes along the distance
That's
that you're
fine. They
observing.
don't use that though,
How do you know that they're not using that? I know for a
because
fact
they
that
use. They
do.
claim. They tell us they're using standard refraction. They don't even use that.
No, weather patterns are mapped onto the freaking part of the Earth that they think they're standing on. So when they're supposedly like a cold front, that heat signature, it's going to get picked up by the radar, and then you have access to that data. This is what surveyors do. They have portals to the weather data.
Real life
This is what they
actual
reference.
surveyors. Yes.
This is what they reference when they're trying to measure refractive effects.
Right. Real life surveyors, yes, but globe zealots that are on Discord, no, they're not doing that. They're using standard refraction.
All right, but Rigger's argument is that you can't know what's happening in the atmosphere, which is dumb because the Natal's that far.
You're an idiot. I'm saying you cannot claim what the atmosphere is doing if you're not measuring it. Why does this always get past you when you try and straw man my argument? If you do not measure it, electric, you can't assume what it's doing according to all the experiments done that lead you to that conclusion. But you can't read a fucking 44-page PDF to figure this out for yourself. You just want, I do it, and then I share the information with you, and then you reject it because you're a fucking brick. So either you're a fucking brick or you're doing this dumb shit intentionally. Which that's what I think. I think you're just the piece of shit that comes in, tries to ruin discussion.
Yeah, electric. If you don't behave yourself, you're probably not going to last that long in this server. So why do you gaslight and try to spam every fucking conversation when they're arguing in good faith? And you're arguing, and you're doing it to me right now because you're a shit stirrer, dude.
If there's a brick here, I will be the brick. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Rigger's upset because someone didn't agree with him about his
servers.
stupid appeal to ignorance, fallacious argument.
And this guy contributes nothing but ignorance to every conversation we've had. You can't even have a conversation because you just deny everything and like refuse to engage with the arguments, dude.
There was no argument. I was clarifying Nato Sapphire for Jesse because he was refusing.
No, you spammed the whole voice chat and ruined a conversation that they were having.
All right, well, like, you don't try to ruin conversations, right?
I know when to speak and when to shut the hell up.
Do you really? Because I don't think you do.
Clearly you don't have a clue, so...
All right, but you're not contributing anything either. You and Rigger have no idea what's happening in the atmosphere. So you're appealing to ignorance, so you can't contribute to the conversation.
You're not even having a conversation. You're just telling us what we think. And you don't even know what we think because you're not dialoguing with us, you shithead.
You're talking about measuring.
Why are you this way? Seek help. Get therapy.
Shut up. Yeah, Sin Cleanser.
Like, you have like an issue. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's what it is. Sin Cleanser doesn't understand refraction. That's why he's gonna.
Do you hear yourself? Are you in a room by yourself? Can you listen to how you sound, man?
Sin, I think he's taking a page out of D-Mock's book.
Yeah, nobody
cares.
Where
do they grow these people? Where do they grow these people, Fresh?
It's intentional.
I think it's the same area where they grow the weather women for the Spanish channel on Univision. Have you seen them before?
Hey, I need the number for that.
So what is refraction, Sin Cleanser?
Refraction is a very basic point of how... Dude, why do you act like I don't know these things? No, dude, I've been doing it for longer than you've even been in the conversation, man.
Yeah, and that makes it even worse because you.
So why start the conversation with Sin Cleanser? You don't know anything.
Towards a region of greater density.
Yeah, exactly. Omnivore knows how to answer the question. Not Rigger.
Yeah, but he
not
also knows how to.
Cleanser,
Yeah, you don't know how
and
to ask a
apparently not
question.
Fresh either.
Your question started off with Sin Cleanser. You don't know anything. That's not how you talk to people, idiot.
I don't give a fuck about how you think I should be talking to you because I think
I know
you're a
because
complete
nobody
liar.
wants to talk with you because how you talk to others, idiot.
Well, yeah, nobody should show you any respect.
Yeah,
You're
you're kind of unwanted. You're becoming a reject.
Yeah, it says Hammer on a soccer account.
So read the room, bro. Read the room. I'm not Hammer. You're just a schizo.
All right, so you don't know how refraction works. So you like to appeal to ignorance and ignore what the conversation was actually about. Good for you, man.
That's precisely what you're
anything.
doing. That's precisely what you're doing, and you're dragging what the original conversation was. You're dragging it towards what is refraction. That's what you're trying to do, because you don't know fuck all about what we were talking about. So you need to drag it into a realm that you've like listened to people argue and discuss, and you have a little bit like surface knowledge of it, so you can just fucking waffle on about that. Because you want to be the one talking right now. You can't shut the fuck up even when someone else is talking.
Calm down, girls.
Yeah, pure rigor. Please calm down. So what do you think refraction is?
I think you're a fucking retard.
That's not what refraction is. So you don't know how to answer questions. So you're dumb.
How about them apples?
Yeah, it's funny. The only reason this guy is getting super triggered is because he's being exposed for not comprehending refraction. Same with Sin Cleanser and Fresh.
Dude, I steel man your stupid fucking low IQ.
Yelling and not making sense.
You can't decide whether or not you're a glober or flat earther. Don't throw me into this.
No, I just know when you guys are wrong. So you
Electric, you remember when you were in here asking Jesse a bunch of questions, right? Because you can't comprehend like how the observations being made.
You have to invoke bendy, curvy globe air for your refraction to work on a flat plane. You're a fucking dork. Don't even try that shit.
All right, Fresh. So apparently you know more about refraction than these other two guys.
I know everything about refraction.
Good job bailing. Hey, good job bailing Jesse Pat the light out, Electric. I just want to point that out.
Ooh,
good
refraction
job.
boogeyman coming to scare you.
That's not your intent, though, right? But you do it every time.
No, you just don't understand.
If you knew how to talk to
That's
people,
all
we
this
could
is.
talk about refraction all night. But you don't know how to talk to people, so why would we talk to you, dude?
You were drawing in paint, right? You were drawing in paint the other day with Jesse Pat the light. I had to fucking steel man your position because you couldn't.
I just want to hear a
make
conversation that doesn't sound like a psychopath dude rambling on the internet and destroying all conversations that could be happening.
You guys, Riggs is here. Everyone behave. Pretend like we're acting normal.
Electric's gonna behave because, well, maybe he won't because he can't read the fucking room ever.
So what's going on?
Nothing.
I'm trying to get Sin Cleanser to tell us about how he uses Chatterbait.
So what happened is Jesse Pat the light came, and then Jesse the dark one, he turned into a Glober, and now we're all debating him.
Well, Jesse Pat the light tends to do that. I mean,
Dude, I log in the live stream and I just hear Jesse Path of Light saying, "Well, I've been here for like 5 minutes, and you all should leave the server like me."
I
Okay.
I don't think that's Jesse Path of Light.
What do you mean?
What?
It's a different
And now Omnivore is coming into this server to try to poison the well and ruin this server.
Hold on, Sim. It was before you got here, I guess, because he was just here like 5 minutes ago.
No, what really happened, Riggs, is pure
I was talking with.
Don't understand what refraction is, so they got gaslighted.
I was talking with. Dude, can you just stop? I was talking with Jesse Patholite. Me and him were having like a little bit of a debate, right? Nothing too intense, and I was asking him like what he would. It got to the point where I asked him, you know, when we test the refractive model, you know, in reality, we realize we can't trust it to be consistent, right? There's no actual stated model that's you can just apply this and it works, right? And I was asking him to address that. Jesse came in, this clown, and he just started steamrolling, just fucking redirecting the conversation, dragging it and over talking and waffling on about shit that had nothing to do with what we're talking about, then misrepresents the paper and straight up lies about it. So I just wouldn't stop, so I moved him to hot mic a couple times.
Riggs, they were talking about refraction.
What is the problem with there not being a single applied refraction number.
So,
Whatever.
oh yes,
because the atmosphere changes.
What? Yes, the atmosphere changes, weather changes. So I would
So
expect
that's the problem. That's why.
So
Why
I
is
mean, I
that?
can sum it up with a
So does
picture.
the rate at which water boils changes ever so subtly, right? We call it 100 degrees.
Oh,
But
but it's not that fucking tiny of a fucking change, bro. It's a huge change. There's storms and different seasons.
Why is it
Which
so
is that
quiet
talking
all of
about?
a sudden?
So, do you guys
What-
also
what?
think Jesse Path of Lies is a crisis actor?
I don't.
Jesse
Okay, so I
Path
still
of
don't know what
Lies
the problem is.
is a crisis actor. What crisis is he acting in?
The flat Earth crisis.
No one said. Wait, no one said he's a crisis actor. What kind of strawman is that?
No, that's what Truth Seeker just said. Do you realize Jesse Path of Lies is a crisis actor?
Oh, he got the name of that actor wrong. So he just said disinfo agent.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back in a minute. Electric, you are on mute for a few minutes. I just can't. Like, it's clearly it solved the problem in this room, so I'm gonna be
Electric's
back in 5
on
minutes.
timeout. He can't talk to us.
So
We can
what?
talk to him.
What is? I mean, I wouldn't expect you. You can't say there's a single weather every day. So we
Yeah,
always just
exactly.
apply weather rainy, unless you live in Seattle. So why would that be a problem for refraction?
Means you have no standard model.
What
It
do you-
doesn't hold up to experimentation. That's what it means.
How do
right?
you? I don't.
So
so I don't
they
understand.
did. So they took the refractive model, right? And then they said, all right, cool. We're going to validate this fucker right now. So they go out in the field, they run the experiments, and they realize, holy shit, 10% of the time it's off. But it's off by 2 to 4 times the allowed level of tolerance,
Well,
right? So that's a huge.
Where are you getting this?
This is the NATO Sapphire experiment,
The
right?
NATO
So that's a
Sapphire
huge
experiment.
error margin. Yeah.
Okay, so if I Google NATO Sapphire experiment, I'll find this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all public knowledge, man.
Well, okay.
I've been talking about this for like months.
Satellite? You talking about?
No. So it's an experiment, right? They did over like 16.2 kilometers, right? They did it over Chesapeake Bay, and they looked at a lighthouse. They had a bunch of lights, right?
Is it Sapphire?
On that
SAFFIRE?
PPHIRE.
Yeah, I've done NATO Sapphire experiment, and I get. Oh, hang on. Investigations on angular deviation. Maybe it's this second one caused by refraction. Rightio.
Yeah, there you go. So what they
So
found.
this is relating to littoral ship self-defense.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean,
No, the
So-
refractive one. The
so
refractive
tell
one.
me. So first off, do you know what
It is-
littoral ships are?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
for ship
so-
self-defense. That's what it is for.
What was a littoral ship?
Oh my goodness.
Coast? Isn't that a littoral usually means hanging near the coast? Isn't it? Something like that?
Yes, that is exactly what it means. Green water navy versus blue water navy. I suspect.
Can we get to the
from
experiment?
looking at this, that the idea that you've seen this PDF and you've now making some bold claim about refraction not working is
No, not me. The paper is.
Yeah,
the paper
so-
has a conclusion. I
Okay,
just
so-
regurgitate it back to you, and you guys don't like it.
so. Where is
Not
the
my conclusion.
Where's the conclusion?
Probably at the end.
I see the abstract. I don't see the.
Yeah, if you scroll down to the end, you'll find it. They usually wrap it
I
up in
can't.
the end.
So go ahead and post it because I have to request full text PDF. So ResearchGate doesn't give you the PDF.
All right, you want me to pull up the NATO Sapphire?
Yeah.
All right, give me a second.
I've put a ResearchGate link in the live chat.
Yeah,
That's what you're
that
talking
one
about.
I've got, but that one doesn't. I can't just download the PDF.
Yo, can I just inform Sage on the situation? So Omnivore, this guy right here next to me, he is a flat earther. Flat earthers always defend the mainstream narrative on everything. Right, Sage? Don't forget that. Don't listen to eggshells. He's lying to you. He's trying to deceive you.
Sage, are your voice commands working today? Sage, are you voice commands working today? Guess not. No, I'm fixing them. I got meetings and shit, but I'll get it there.
So, Omnivore, can you tell us about what activities you conducted when you were in the intelligence agencies?
Not really.
Debunking flat Earth, obviously.
Yeah. So
So
I
it's
looked at summary and
classified.
observations.
Omnivore, who you work for the intelligence agencies?
No, I was in military intelligence.
Oh, okay.
So you say you've regurgitated the conclusion.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest here. Number one, I don't see the conclusion. But number two, I don't think it says what you're claiming it says.
That's fine.
So
that's like your instant response.
Tell me how it is that in this paper, which is moderately technical, how are you getting that something is wrong with refraction?
Why don't you tell me what you think it says? Since
Okay.
I'm wrong by default, you go ahead and tell me what it's saying.
Well, not by default. It's
it's your immediate response. So how about you just replace it?
Yeah, because I'm looking at this. Okay, so what they're trying to do is they're trying to use infrared photography to identify and track ships. It looks like 5 tests were performed: IR ship signature, IR turbine signature, speedboat jet ski detection, IR point source detection, and IR visible refraction scintillation runs. Okay, so they're using IR sensors, that's infrared, right, to identify ships that are near coastlines. Okay, and when they do that, they're using specifically visible refraction / scintillation runs. Okay, so what does scintillation mean in that context?
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
I suspect.
Wait, did I pull up the wrong one?
No, this looks like probably the right one. I hope it's the right one. It seems like it's the right one.
Yeah, littoral ship defense systems, technology studies.
Yeah. This.
Oh, my bad.
Is that not the right one?
Yeah, it might be the wrong one. Hold, give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah, Chesapeake Bay.
All right. Did you post the new one?
No, give me a second. I want to make sure I post the right one this time.
Yeah. No, I definitely. All right. Let's see. Investigations on
related.
It is, but
yeah.
I would be very, very cautious of posting a paper that I'm not especially qualified to read and saying, this is what it means, even though I can read the conclusion. It doesn't mean I understand the conclusion. In this paper, angular deviation of target images were compared to predictions of optical path deviation using IRBLEM. What is IRBLEM? Do you know?
Yeah, no, I'm waiting for you to tell me where I'm wrong.
Infrared boundary layer effect model.
Omnivore, as a side note, I think you've perfected condescending to people. How smoothly you just slip it in there. It's really good.
Yeah, well, I'm look, the claim here is, and I will attempt to quote, I'm just regurgitating what it said and you guys don't like it. There's no standard model. You can't apply refraction. I don't think that.
Okay. You just judged everybody.
Hold on, yeah. I'm answering fresh. I don't think that's true, and I would be
right. And we get that, but it was the extension of slipping in the. I don't think you're qualified just because you know how to read this to comprehend it. Actually,
I think that applies to everybody in this chat, with the possible exception of JA's. Fresh.
Well, you're not biased, thank God.
Me.
I know that's why I said I think you.
Yeah, you don't
have
look down on
perfected the
us.
So
trap.
if
You're
you
a
think that-
know-it-all,
okay,
right,
wait,
Omnivore?
Just a second. If you think that's condescending, I
No,
suggest
I know
you
more than
redevelop
you
it.
do. It's not condescending. I just am smarter than you, bro. I'm smarter than you. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I know. I realize.
I'm a little bit more intelligent than you, Omnivore.
So,
Don't get
the
scared.
altitudes of targets range from 5.8 miles to 3.2 miles above mean low water level (MLLW).
Hey, can we save
Water
ourselves some
level.
time?
I
right?
agree.
And,
Yes.
and
Water level.
scroll down to conclusion and
That's
just
what I'm
read the
reading.
last two. Yeah, read the last two sentences. That sums up
Measurement
the whole paper.
of temperature and humidity profiles will be required to improve predictions under these conditions.
He even reads it like a preacher.
So
No. These situations, right? This one, the
Yeah.
refractive profile seems inhomogeneous.
yeah,
Inhomogeneous,
yeah.
not
not good.
uniform, right?
Not
So
homo.
then it says
Targets
these
at different-
situations cannot be described by a model using bulk predictions
Right.
based on local and punctual weather data. So you can no longer use weather data to make predictions.
That's not okay. So that turns out
That is what
not
it's
to
saying.
be
I just
true.
read it.
Right. I know you have read a incredibly narrow paper.
That's
right?
my argument.
That is, I get it. I get it. You've read an incredibly narrow paper, and you've drawn an incredibly broad conclusion.
That's their conclusion.
That's not these are not my
No,
words.
their
This is not my
conclusion
experiment.
is-
This has nothing to do with me except for I'm regurgitating
Yeah.
what the mainstream told me is true. So
get it.
now you can discredit my source. That's
So
fine. I'm okay with that.
You're not. So you're regurgitating what one line in a paper says.
The conclusion.
It's one line in the conclusion.
Okay, so the whole
It is
conclusion.
It is not talking about either refraction in general or
Yeah, it is.
refraction.
The whole paper's about it. The whole paper's about refraction.
So do you realize that they're talking about measurement path of 16 miles over water?
It says the
Altitude rate
refractivity
5 miles to 32 miles.
Omni, you say it's not talking about refraction, and it says the refractivity
It's not talking about
profile seems inhomogeneous. What does that sentence mean to you?
It means that for this, targets at different height levels show at some moments inconsistent behavior.
No, the other sentence that I just
At
read.
different height levels.
Okay,
Rapid
address the
fluctuations
sentence.
of the target images were observed on June 20th, 2006.
Yeah, this is a different
So
sentence.
when they say
I'm
these
asking you,
situations, when they
Omni.
say these situations, what situations are they referring to?
I'm
Because it
asking you
doesn't
about
say
a
in
sentence.
every
Can you
situation.
comprehend what this sentence is saying?
Yes, I do. Yes,
refractivity
but I'm reading the whole
profile
paragraph.
is inhomogeneous. What do you think they mean by that?
Refractile is not the same over a broad area.
So you think it means the refractivity profile or the model, right, of refraction is what? Inconsistent?
No, that's not what it means.
Oh, what does it mean?
No. So, well, if you start reading at the beginning of the paragraph, it says rapid fluctuations of the target images were observed on June 20th, 2006. The targets at different height level show at some moments inconsistent behavior.
Due to refraction.
No. It doesn't say due to refraction.
You're
it says
not reading and comprehending what you're even reading
you,
slow.
You see,
you're reading it slow, not
okay,
under. You can't comprehend it. That's amazing.
I'm sorry. My apologies. I didn't realize I was talking to Sinclair there. I thought I was talking to.
No, you're just being ridiculous because you're missing his point intentionally.
You can look at. You can go and read the line after the magic line, and it starts with two words. These situations. These situations are not every situation.
These refractive situations. Yes.
No.
Yes,
no,
because you read the previous. Okay, I don't know if you
situation.
have reading comprehension, Omnivore, but when you read something, that is the qualification to the preceding thing that modifies the previous
phrase.
Yes, these conditions.
Okay. So to have comprehension, you have to realize that those changes that they're referring to are refractive effects that make it hard to read.
Okay, so none of this is relevant because it says these conditions, and you don't know what those conditions are.
Because refraction is hard to measure, Omnivore.
No, it's not. No, that's not true.
Okay, so why is
That's
refraction
what
not
you want
working
to
for
be
your
true,
model?
But that's not what it actually says.
I know, because you're not comprehending its meaning.
I am.
Well, you missed that point because
No.
you missed the whole point.
Yeah, I get it, because there's only one sentence in this whole paper that you care about. And
No,
you've
the whole thing that you're
decided that
reading
this-
is saying that it's the refractive
decided
effects that
that
make
this-
it inconsistent.
paper
You're just not getting it.
supports well, you decided this paper supports a bizarre position that it does not support.
You have a bizarre interpretation of it, which is false, which leads
Well-
me to believe you do not understand the paper.
Yeah, I don't. Well, okay, so explain.
So
the
you're not
conditions.
actually qualified to even comment on this stuff
Explain
because you
what they
have
mean
an
by
ill-informed
these conditions.
or misinformed understanding of what it's saying.
Explain what they mean by these conditions.
These conditions, which have been changed due to elevation and the angle of incident, those changes
wait,
are
does it
hard
say
to.
that?
Stop,
Does it say
you
that?
asked me a
Does it
question. Let
say
me finish
that?
my sentence, Omnivore. Are you
It
going to kick
doesn't
me out of
say
this
that.
place?
It doesn't say that.
Oh, you have to talk over me now because
I
you're
know,
not, no
yeah,
mute
but it
button.
doesn't-
You
I'm
have no
just
mute
letting-
button now, and you can't hear the pain because you're an idiot. But listen, the changes I just listed were an elevation change and an angle of incidence change of light. These
what they say.
situations
That's not
are
what they're
hard to
saying.
measure because the refractive index
I got
is
it.
hard
I got
to determine.
Yeah. No, none of that. None of that's actually what it says.
Yeah, just hand wave dismiss everything
Yes,
because the
you
Earth's a
are
ball,
correct.
right, Omnivore? You're a
You
truly
are.
wise, intellectual man who has complete
Yes,
honesty.
you are completely
Yeah.
correct. Yes,
Yes.
and they're talking about
And
a
you're not a
specific
piece of crap
situation.
because you argue in good faith, right?
Well, I am.
Yeah,
telling
you don't
what I
argue
think.
in good faith. You're a
I'm
deceptive
actually
person,
looking at the
and you're a
paper.
backstabbing liar because you say one thing and mean another. You're not genuine, and you're
anyway.
you're not invisible
Yeah,
either.
I turned you down, Scene Cleanser. You're not.
Yeah,
You're not really
because
value added.
you think you run this show. Go back to your little hidey hole little server where you mute all the opposition. You can't fucking preach your globe, genius. I mean, it's a waste of time to talk with you guys if you don't really argue in good faith, at least, dude. If you just,
But I can see that he's just.
if you
going
just heard
on
it
and
out
on.
instead of dismissing things and talking over and muting people and turning them down, like you would be a normal, rational man instead of a weird,
10%
stunted dude
of
who
all
just has a
measured
power obsessive
cases,
fucking idea because
the
he was
prediction
entitled because he
error
went to college because
exceeds
daddy
plus
paid his way.
0.2 MRAD.
What is your position, Sen? Beyond
Thank you for politely asking. I will politely answer.
He's
My
hoping
position
that
is that if you
refraction is
read the paper
impossible to measure.
comprehensively, and Omnivore doesn't talk over me because he turned me down and he's polite guest in this room, he's gonna let me talk. So, Negator, my angle with this is that if you read the paper correctly and you interpret its true meaning, it's clearly saying due to the conditions, which were the elevation change and the angle of light coming through to the observer, these things which they cannot measure because they do not have the refractive index information, that is why they can't get a consistent understanding of why it does those things. Now, Omnivore just defaulted into saying, nuh-uh, nuh-uh, nuh-uh. Do you understand what I'm saying, Negator?
No, what's the paper stating? Like, what's the conclusion, and why is it stating these things?
Because it was in
One
contention.
MRAD equals approximately 3.6 inches at 100 yards. So we're talking about a difference of 2.
And you don't know how to
MRADs.
read the paper because when you look at something at a distance, you're looking through a corridor of air. The air has a different pressure, different
the
angle of
amount of
light,
deviation
different
here
all these
is
things that you just hand
minuscule.
wave away because apparently the Earth's a ball and you don't have to justify anything anymore. Thank you. I'm done with talking to you guys.
Okay, I guess I'm confused because it sounds like it's trying to get at something, and that something's not. Well, we just can't figure it out. It's got to be something more than that, right?
What he's
No,
trying to
if
get
you
at,
read it
what he's hoping
slowly,
it shows is that
if
it's
you-
impossible to measure refraction. But what
That's
this
the whole
shows
argument,
is that
yes.
if you have extremely tight requirements,
oh
tolerances,
my God, you're brain dead, dude.
then under some conditions, especially at high altitude, you can get, a deviation from what you'd expect. But none of this is in general. I don't think the Earth has been verified to be flat either. I think if you could verify the Earth to be flat, you would no longer be able to use celestial navigation.
Did all the other flat earthers just leave?
I don't know.
What happened? Did someone
Well,
get
St.
kicked
Cleanser
or
left.
something?
St. Cleanser's not real value added. Pure Rigor left, which is unfortunate because I would like to talk to him about the paper.
What paper are you talking about?
It's the paper that he presented, which is what's the name of it? The Sapphire Trial: Investigations on Angular Deviation Caused by Refraction.
Interesting.
It's a very specific and highly technical paper that he believes is means you can't measure refraction because no model applies to it or something. And the reason that Pure Rigor cited it is because it says targets at different height levels show at some moments inconsistent behavior. The refractivity profile seems inhomogeneous. These situations cannot be described by a model using bulk prediction based on local and punctual weather data. So, but we're talking about very specific cases where the error exceeds plus or minus 0.2 millirads, which is a tiny amount. So I don't think that this paper is especially dispositive of anything. Omnivore wants to be unmuted. Can somebody unmute him? Electric wants to be unmuted.